Hello once again, YouTube and audience. Once again from the Rocket Pit. I'm Ian D. Blackburn, and welcome to another Magic the Gathering Gatecrash opening. As you can see, we've got one booster pack in front of us, so let's see if this don't make me any madder, because yesterday I saw a promo card in here, and that just ticks me off. Honestly, promo cards are good for one thing: palette painting. So there's our new 15. Let's get on with it. First card is Gutter Skulk. It's a 2/2 rat creature, which costs 2 to bring out, one of which has to be a swamp. Pretty much a basic creature, so no real surprise there. My second one for you is a multicoloured one called Wojciech Halberdiers, and it's from the Boros bit, the Boros Guild. So that's one mountain, one plain to bring out. There's 3/2 creature, and it's got battalion. So whenever Wojciech and at least 2 other creatures attack, this card gains first strike until end of turn. And it's got some italics about the Boros underneath that. So card number 3 is one from the Demir side of things. That's one blue, one swamp, and one other, called Mortius Strider. And when Mortius Strider dies, return it to owner's hand. It's good for a 1/1 creature, especially if you're returning cards to your hand. Our next one, it's one called Bomber Corpse. If you're running a red deck, maybe a Boros deck, this has also battalion for 1 red and 1 mountain. This 1/2 creature can come in helpful. Whenever Bomber Corpse and at least 2 other creatures attack, Bomber Corpse deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Yes, you choose which one that comes to. Maybe thinking about putting it in a red deck, I might. Maybe Boros. Who knows? Our next card is Court Street Denizen for white. It's a 3 cast creature, one of which has to be a plain, 2 from anywhere else, and it's 2/2. And whenever, I'll start that sentence again. Whenever another white creature enters the battlefield under your control, tap target creatures an opponent controls. And I could have done with that card earlier today against Luke and Neil in a fatal 3-way, I'm now calling them. So moving on from that, we have got Wildwood Rebirth from green. It's a 2 summoning, 1 forest and 1 of anything else. It's an instant, so enemies beware. This can be cast in your turn as well. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. So, like I say, it can be cast at any time. Always be wary of instants. So our next card tonight is the Dimir Guildgate. This is similar to the last Dimir Guildgate I pulled out of the Dragon's Maze. So yeah, if you haven't watched that one yet on how to bring in the Guildgate tapped, it's worth watching. Dimir Guildgate enters the battlefield tapped, and then add a swamp or an island to your mana pool if you tap it. Or alternatively, the card can act as either a swamp or an island. Next on our list, it's an interesting card for an artifact. It's called Prophetic Prism. Cost is only 2 mana. Whenever Prophetic Prism enters the battlefield, draw a card, and for 1 and for tap, and 1 mana of any colour to your mana pool. So maybe this is good for a sliver deck, eh, Mubs? Instead of that door. May sound like a trade, but only you can make your mind about that. Our next card to turn over is Midnight Recovery. We're still in the Commons house here. It's a sorcery card, so it can only be cast in your turn. Brought up for 4, one of which has to be a swamp and 3 others. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. So it helps if you've lost 1 to Jace's ability of lose 10 cards. It's also got Chaifer, which makes it a totally Dimir card. Then you may exile this spell card encoded on a creature you control. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player, its controller may cast a copy of the encoded card without paying its mana cost. That's how Chaifer works. Hopefully this card is something good. We're about to flip. It's black. It's Thrall Parasite, the first of the uncommons. And it's a 1-cast creature. From Orzhov, it's got Extort. So whenever you cast a spell, you may pay 1 plain or 1 swamp. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life. Tap, pay 2 life, remove a counter from target non-land permanent. In other words, a creature. And this is a Thrall 1/1 creature. Our next card tonight is True Fire Paladin from the Boros Guild. It's red and white. It's got vigilance, and it's also 2/2. For the same summoning costs, True Fire Paladin gets +2/+0 till end of turn, or True Fire Paladin gains first strike until end of turn. those are the abilities in which to boost it for a mountain and a plain. Next uncommon card is Hold the Gates. It's an enchantment for 3, one of which has to be a plain. So creatures you control get +0, +1 for each gate you control and have vigilance. So remember earlier there was the Demir Guild gate, that counts for Hold the Gates enchantment. And we may have, 3 cards left, so we're guaranteed a rare. That's the thing with Magic, I always like, you're guaranteed a rare no matter what. Our rare is Ogre Slumlord. Cast for 5, 2 swamps and 3 other. It's an ogre, so it's 3/3 for that casting. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may put a 1/1 black rat creature token onto the battlefield. And I know that Richard likes playing with rats, so maybe Ogre Slumlord is one for him. He actually did give Richard a shout out, so there's something you don't see often. And to follow both me and Richard, please come up to the Wargames shop or go online to wargamessupplies.co.uk if you're interested in Magic or other games. So carrying on with our last 2 cards. Our penultimate card is a Shiny Pit Fight. It's an instant, and its casting is 1 and a mountain or a forest. Target creature you control fights another target creature. Each deals damage equal to its power to the other. And at one point I was thinking 3 of these for my Death Touch deck. And our final card is basic land. It's a Ravnica Swamp. What is it with Ravnica in Gatecrash? I don't know. Please leave in the comments what you think of that happening. And this is where I say good night, God bless, and from the Rocket Pit, goodbye.